Hey Scorpio, how are you? It's Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage Soul Tarot. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Scorpio, lot going on per usual. I'm just finishing up my shuffle, so that's for your partner, okay? 7 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Before I jump in, thanks so much for being here, everybody. Really appreciate it. I'm getting a lot of love messages. And it does feed my soul. I'm here to communicate with you, to try to channel messages. If you're new, I channel messages. Use the cards to illustrate the messages. And just a reminder, I've been in New Mexico. I'm out on my, I hope, year-long spiritual walkabout. And bringing Moonrise Cottage to you because so many people can't get there. That's interesting. So I'm in New Mexico. I will be here, I think, till the end of the month. Wow, look, Scorpio, what's going on? This is your lover. So interesting. I've just arranged a second shamanic healing retreat utilizing the shamanic traditions of the Celtic realm. Something's going on. It's going to be on November 29th. You'll see that little eye in the sky thing. Click on that. It'll take you to the website, everything you need to know. There are only 6 spaces. I try to keep them small because we go really deep. There are 2 price point options. One is if you live locally and you want to come to the retreat and not have to pay for lodging, you can do that. It cuts the price literally in half. So click on that thing, check it out. If you have any questions, send me an email. All the links for the readings. People have been asking for a lot of readings. Things are going deep because of this Scorpio new moon. Okay, we've got Mercury in retrograde. You guys know Pluto and Saturn. There's just all kinds of stuff going on. Ooh-wee. Okay, so we're going to put that aside for a sec. Put this down. Let's jump in. For you, Scorpio, we know, if you've been following along, any tarot reader, but particularly my channel, you've been going through a protracted healing. My guides are saying a separation and a healing because you're being pulled by the ancient ones. See that tractor beam of light? We see the guides, the masters, the angels, however you want to say it, the ancient ones. The energy's literally pulling on you because you decided to come here as a Scorpio in this lifetime to help all of us go that deep. Every person, and you're ruled by Pluto. My guys just said, so what did you expect? God, they're snarky today, right? So basically it's their way of saying, of course, you're here literally to go through the medicine wheel of your own soul cycle. The tripartite soul going through the medicine wheel in this particular way in this lifetime. It hasn't been easy for a lot of you. It has not been easy. You volunteered to come here for this great shift and change. All right, they're calling it the Great Change. And they're talking about Pluto and Saturn. And if you're in the United States, we're having our Pluto return. I think it's actually not for a couple of years. But the restructuring of the social system is happening, as we all know, no matter what you think about it. So one other thing I want to say before I jump in. That's interesting. That is the Magician. That's the theme of the reading that my guides want to talk about. Literal magic, the way you are the magician in your life, the way the magic is available to you to wield as one of your powers. And that's the 5 of Cups. Fascinating. So there's magic going on inside this notion of standing in your life cloaked deep on the inside, wielding magic to process something that you have walked away from. And when you're done processing, you pick up the 2 cups that remain upright and you walk across the bridge into your new life. So I think you're manifesting your new life after having left something behind. It could be factors of you. It's what's going on for Cancer and Pisces. The Scorpio new moon has pulled you real deep, as we see, right? Into the medicine wheel. It's another, okay, my guides are giving me an image of someone having a sacred ceremony, using the medicine wheel for a type of healing and or initiation. So I think that's what's going on. It's going on the inside. For some of you, you might be literally doing it. And you know what? If you have the capacity or you want to do something like that, call me. Send me an email. I love doing that stuff. I'd be happy to do that for you. So there's magic inside of something that looks or feels really difficult and challenging, and my guides just want you to be in full alignment with that, okay? Take heart. Change is hard sometimes. It's also really beautiful and liberates you into your own life. So let's see what, look, you're dealing with some kind of a soulmate. That's the Two of Cups. And there's the moon. So this cycle that we've entered with your new moon has caused the cycle, the full cycle from the new moon to the full moon, which is in Taurus, I believe, has caused you to go deep and to attempt at least to bring balance in a love relationship. And maybe that love relationship is in danger of failing, right? Or maybe you've walked away from certain aspects of that love relationship for a reason. But in this moon cycle, you're going to do a lot of work together. I think those of you, and maybe it's around how do we leave each other? How do we, how do we balance? And if at all possible, if your partner's available and you're leaving a relationship, best way to do it is with love and support and acknowledge that things have changed. It's not working. I honor you as a human being. I see that we are transforming. The sacred light of the universe is streaming into us so that we can attend to this task. So yeah, my heart chakra is getting all swollen up. So my guides are saying, yes, that's exactly what it's about. Oh, okay. I just want to show you this. See this? Aw, Scorps. Yeah, some of you are separating from a mated. Okay, my guys are saying a mated position, and you thought it was going to be for life, or it was for life in some way, maybe a really long-term situation or something that you thought was going to be long-term, and the passion is just gone. And so I think if you're going to have some balancing and a lot of discussion, that's what, for some of you, right? It's a general reading. I can't possibly read for every Scorpio, but the Scorpios that I know are literally going through something that looks and feels like this. And my guides are saying, if you're an enlightened Scorpio, you're healthy and you've done your work, you know how to do this. You don't have to get down and dirty and nasty and deceitful and whatever. But there's a lot of pain and sorrow, I think. Because you see, oh gosh, look at that, right? But there's magic. There's magic in the mix. And I think that, okay, so this is going to sound weird, but for some of you, you may come to love this person more than you've ever loved them. You might come to see them because of the discussions that have to happen. If you're separating or divorcing, it does require a lot of discussion. And often, here's what my guys are saying. When lawyers are involved, the discussion focuses on the things and the money and how to pull things apart. But there's an opportunity within that. That's what the magic is. Thank you, Spirit. So there's an opportunity within this to become more loving and to actually walk away. It's bonded but not together. And that's a beautiful outcome. Like, truly, that's a beautiful outcome. So, you have this magic. That's a prophecy as well. It's a prophecy about the battle that you're in if you're breaking up. All right? And let me just pause and say, it could be a matter in your family, could be your job, could be anything, right? It's not necessarily about love. My readings do provide some information about your love relationship, but mostly we're talking about your life and your soul. Okay? So the fact that we have the Ace of Swords, which in this deck, the mystical story about that sword is, of course, it's the sword of victory, but the magic that comes to you with the massive amount of clarity that you're about to get, if you can comport yourself in this way, it's the moment before you put your hands on the sword of victory. My guys are talking to me about King Arthur, partly because that figure is meant to be Merlin. All right, so When you put your hands, just before you put your hands on the sword in order to get clarity and victory, it's a moment when you're meant to pray and call forward the wind that blows in the season of winter, which is why it looks this way. And here we are, at least in the United States, in the northern hemisphere, we're coming into winter. So there's some magic. Chant your magic onto the sword, say your prayers, invoke the universe, stay deep inside to process for as long as you can about this person, with this person if possible, in order to come to a loving separation. I think you'll always be bonded for life with this person because they've been so significant in your life. There's just the mirror of that is just astounding, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. You are regenerating yourself. You're regenerating the relationship between the two of you very clearly. That's the Ten of Wands. The passion has come off of this. Okay? Because you're meant to regenerate. You're meant to rebirth yourself. And Scorpio, look, all the wisdom animals there to help you. Look them up on the web. But do you see the salmon? All right, of wisdom. You're definitely feeling overwhelmed. It's part of the process when you come to this Ten of Wands moment and you put the burden down, and that's the transition card in my reading that has to do with, this is what's going on in your human life. That's the theme. This is the energy you're holding. And look, okay, some of you very clearly putting the burdens down from a soulmate situation that wasn't meant to be forever, or in this lifetime you were meant to meet that person, go through a cycle with them. That's why my guides are saying love them and honor them. Soulmates are meant to walk you to the gateway of your the next part of your existence. They're not always meant to be with you forever. So when the time comes for, oh my gosh, my guides just said, for liberation from this relationship, do it with love and honor and respect, because that's what it is due. Look, oh my gosh, Ten of Swords. Scorpio, it's interesting. Watch the Cancer reading. Okay, I'm pretty sure this came out for Cancer, and yeah. So, because the Scorpio new moon, all the water signs are going through this, and there's something amazing about the transition that's happening. Of course. So this card is on the level of, what my guides call the heart soul chakra. All right, the tripartite journey of any sacred soul being. Interesting. You've been feeling adrift in your life. You may have been adrift in your life. This is perhaps the issue, if you will, that your tripartite soul has been working on. And into this moment, my guides are saying, see how the medicine wheel, the ancient ones, into this moment, you have grown and you have been challenged and you have journeyed throughout your many life cycles. See all those people in the boat? My guides are talking about that might be you in all your incarnations. And you've been feeling adrift. It's what your soul's been working on. But see the light coming up? This is about people who can't find the shore. And it's the moment of transition when this is over. You let go of the struggle. You've done what I think, water signs, you guys are, no pun intended, you're so deep. You've let go of something. It's coming to an end. See this? These many incarnations that you've had, in which you've had at least part of your challenge, this feeling adrift. And, if you're a water sign, you're at the mercy of the tides, aren't you? Of life, of the changing of the planets, of the moon cycles. And you've just been through it for a long time. To see how it's being reflected in all these ways. Let's see look. Oh, now I'm going to cry. Oh, Scorpio. Gosh, you guys are so awesome. I love you. Look, you're moving on. The Chariot. You have done what you needed to do for your soul progress. There's the Sacred Mother bringing all the new growth. Do you see yourself, Scorp? See how activated you've become? It's not the horses that move you forward, my loves. It's your energy. This is the mover of energy. It's the Chariot card. Look at that. See the ancient ones, the medicine wheel. You're done with this. You don't have to do this anymore if you choose to move on. And look, oh, God, Spirit. The beautiful butter churner, the sacred goddess Coventina. Do you see the portal in the bottom? All right, that's the moon. That's what's coming in from the moon. That's a temperance card. So she is meant to churn your energy until it comes into its new form by tempering what's been happening and what comes on the moon cycle. And she's aligned with the sacred magician. Just astounding. And this prophecy about total clarity. So, oh gosh, I'm all, look, yeah, change. Okay. Wheel of Fortune. This is about taking in. It's about finishing a cycle. It's about initiating a cycle in order to plant the seed, to develop and spread the seeds of your new existence out on the sacred winds of the universe. That's what this has been for. Woo-hoo-hoo. I don't even want to touch it. My guy just pulled it right out. So yeah, basically what they're saying is, you've been through this, haven't you? That's what it's been like for a lot of the Scorpios I know. And now here it is upright. And the magician pointing right at it. So, phenomenal. Thank you, Spirit. I love it. Let's take a look at your partner. Let's see what's going on over here. Because they're going through something too. So, for them, maybe this is the person that's letting you go. The sacrifice, and it is about what you have to give up, what you decide you can give up for the greater good. And do you see how the sacrifice is giving right into the sacred temple? So with any luck at all, you're with somebody that can attend to this process the way my guys were speaking about over here. They're taking it to the temple. But you know what's really cool? Check this out. The first card that fell out for each of you was the Magician. And we see the beautiful King of Wands there with his back to the Magician. So whoever your partner is, they're doing their best to wield their magic. They know this is an infinity moment. They do have the tools that it takes to transform the situation from something could be really ugly into something really beautiful. And their passion is looking away from you. So they also are going through some kind of transformation, no doubt, okay? So, yeah, look. Ace of Pentacles. They want stability. And when they're able, if your person is able to attend to this in this way, if this is a breakup, they are sitting looking toward their own future. And the inspiration is coming to them because they have been, like I just said, because they have been a dutiful partner and they love you enough to let you go in a very sacred way. And that's why my guides were talking about, sometimes you break up with someone and the breakup happens and you know it's going to happen, but you kind of fall in love with them, not as a partner, but as a spirit being. Woo! Getting all choked up, which is usually a sign that my guides are telling me, yep, that's right. So there we go. Yeah. It's the magic of the heartbreak that brings the inspiration to this being. So there is going to be some celebration. Absolutely. About the way the events are unfolding, I think. And so interesting. See how that's following the Three of Swords? Yeah, there's definitely a breakup. There's definitely, it's interesting. Some people, when they get divorced, they have a party, right? And yes, there's sadness. Yes, there's heartbreak, but my guys are saying it's a much richer situation than that if you are able to attend to it in the proper way. And then from this, your partner has a moment, right? And they're thinking, well, okay, how do I grow my garden now? What would I like to do now? I'm not sure. It's going to take, and just look, there's the new moon. I'm going to have to go inside and figure out what, I think we've been successful. This has been really hard. But now I need to get my total clarity. Look at that. Really interesting. So that I can go forward with my life. Okay, because I definitely intend to. The cliff I'm jumping off is you, right? The mountain, my guides are talking about like the mountain of the relationship or the marriage or the home base or whatever it was. So, very interesting. Scorpio, if anybody can do this, it's you. you have the ability to be really deep with people. And in sort of a majestic, shamanic, magician kind of way, because you are so deep. So if this is what's coming out of your deep this week and this month and through to the end of the year, yeah, look. Go straight for it. That's a new way to be in partnership. That's literally the room for partnership, okay? I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to read to you from the book because I think it's important to hear the words for you and for your spouse, your lover, your mate. You know, it could be anybody. It could be a job. It could be something going on in your family. You guys know that. I don't have to say it, but I do just to remind you. So that's the rune Gabo. It's about partnership. It's about a gift. Drawing this rune is an indication that partnership in some form is at issue. In love relationships and business matters, partnering of every kind, you are put on notice not to collapse yourself into that union. And maybe that's what you did, Scorpio. Maybe you collapsed yourself into the union, and when you reach your true self, your moment of health, you know you have to rebuild yourself, and then you rebuild yourself, and oh my gosh, guess what? This doesn't work for me anymore. That's what I've been hearing from a lot of Scorpios. For true partnership is achieved only by separate and whole beings who retain their separateness, even as they unite. So remember to let the winds of heaven dance between you. That's why the magician is here. Thank you, Spirit. At the same time, there is another aspect of partnership that you are being called to consider, because the path of partnership can lead you to the realization of a still greater union with the higher self and union with the divine. Thank you, Spirit. That's why they wanted me to read it. It's really true. So, honor your soulmate, honor your marriage partner, whoever this is, even if it's a job that doesn't work for you anymore. They literally were there hand in hand with you to lead you to the gateway of your next phase of life or existence. So I think my guides are saying, remember that the winds of heaven do dance between you. Interesting. And it was meant, for those of you who are breaking up, to lead you into a union with your higher self and with the divine. The ultimate gift of this rune is the realization of the divine in all things. The Spirit always enters into equal partnerships with you. See that? Equal partnership with you. You're here on the earth going through the medicine wheel. Can't remember if I showed you that. And the ancient ones are standing right here with you. As my guides are saying, as they have always been. Wow. This is deep. Scorpio, of course, it's deep because we're talking about you, but ooh-wee, shamanic? Holy cow, yes. Absolutely. Ooh, Pluto, all that stuff. So remember that the garden is always weeded before the flowers bloom. It's so interesting. All these metaphors that are coming out. All right, hang on, one more thing. So the rune of partnership has no reverse position because it signifies the gift of freedom. Woo! From which flow all other gifts. You are really in partnership. I just believe 100% this is some kind of sacred quantum partnership or a soulmate that came into your life to help you reach this destination. Look at that. The end of a cycle twice based on a relationship with a soulmate. This person, whoever it is, they literally are a magician for you, in the spiritual realm. Interesting. All right, here it comes. Let's see what we got. Yeah, golly. Gosh, they're gonna straight up make me cry. All right, so these came out. The two came out. See that? They came out back to back. That's the rune for separation and radical severance. It is about an inheritance that is sort of standing in the wings waiting for the spirit realm to deliver it. But in order to gain the inheritance, there's something you have to give up. Got to walk your own path. You may have to let go of some things for your person, and this could be vice versa, but it's an absolute mirror reflection, isn't it, in some ways? So something that you have to give up. Might be factors of yourself, your behavior, your cultural inheritance, your background, your religious, spiritual beliefs, something, okay, that is being given up so that you can come into the inheritance and the soul destiny that's meant for you. And that's the room for harvest. So everything I just said, okay, this person is harvesting themselves. It's been a long cycle. You couldn't push it. You couldn't move it any faster. But I think what's happening actually, I think this person is harvesting their soul destiny when this relationship ends. And if it's not ending, the transformation in this relationship that you're involved in is so radical. Let me move this over a little bit. It's intensely radical transformation going on, okay? So if you're involved in a really intense relationship, whether it's a job or whatever it is, and you're going through this kind of intense transformation, stay with the process all the way to the end. My guys just said, all the way to the loving end. Because something truly mystical is happening, especially if you are a Scorpio and you have filed for divorce or declared you want a separation or something on this new moon. It's a very mystical event, okay? So honor it in the best way that you can, because this is literally about your soul destiny coming forward. And for your partner, when they get this clarity and it finally comes to them, not only are they going to jump off the cliff, they're going to harvest their soul destiny. So feel good about yourself, Scorpio. Don't feel bad, but attend to the process so the magic can become clear to both of you. And I think you change each other. You change your soul destiny. It's why you came through, to be together. And there's nothing more mystical, really, than that. So I know I've been prattling on, but I'm having trouble talking. Whew! Scorpio, you are the sacred magician, okay? And you found your magician partner to bring forward this destiny. And it's literal soul destiny, I have no doubt. Whew! So to the best of your ability, bring it straight into the deepest spiritual place that you can go. This is how you can go deep with this person, okay? And you know what, Scorpio? Your ultimate desire is to... I'm not going to say it right, but to make use of, to utilize your partner to take a trip into the divine. That's what it's always about. And you're doing it even if you're breaking up. So hold that close to your heart and carry on. And please leave me some messages. Good gracious, I want to hear about this. And thank you, because you know what? You also change the destiny of the planet. When you use your power of seeing in the deep, this is what happens, Scorpio. And it shifts the energy, I think, literally here on the earth, especially in a moment when Pluto is coming into conjunction with Saturn. And we're literally in the business of destroying structures that don't work in order to create something new. So ponder that. Pause the video, stare at the cards, and think about your life, okay, Scorps? Thank you. I'll be looking forward to seeing as many Scorpios as possible. If you want to come to New Mexico, or if you're around here and you want to jump into this retreat on the Sagittarius new moon, it's going to all be about healing, Sagittarius type energy. So it would be a great thing for you if you're around. Okay. Talk to you soon, Scorps. Click the like button for me. Hug me back, because I'm certainly sending you a hug. Thank you, Scorps. I'll see you next week.